Hey guys, Sarge Mayhem. You are on the swamp deck. We think we might have figured out what's going on with Deeezgainz weapon. I'll explain. Stay tuned. We have this weapon system. Notice I didn't call it AR-9, I didn't call it AR-15, I didn't call it really anything because honestly, it's a Frankenstein of the two of them. It took a minute for me to be able to start diagnosing it because I was like, all right, well, this is easy. He's handing me an AR-9. I have an AR-9. That's the FX-9, which I want to get the Foxtrot Mach 9, but this is what I have right now. So I was like, okay, well, I can swap parts and figure out what's going on. The problem with that is when I pop this top pin and I go to swap the uppers, right? AR-9, AR-9 should be fine. There's a problem. Other than a bolt falling out, there's a bigger problem. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. These holes, this upper receiver is different than this lower receiver. So then I was like, okay, let me change the bolt carrier group. But of course, because the upper is a different size, because the lower is a different size, and vice versa on my FX9, guess what else? The bolt carrier groups are different sizes, which is hard for you to see because I blocked it because I suck. Those are different sizes. So this won't work in that gun, so I can't use that as a diagnosis. And I'm like, trying to figure out how to diagnose this thing and why nothing is matching up, and I figured it out, and I'm going to basically show you now. So yeah, this is Deeezgainz' upgraded AR-15. If I can actually open this. This is the lightweight Brownells bolt carrier group in a standard AR-15. Put it over there. Cool. This is his AR-9 bolt carrier group. This is an AR-15 bolt carrier group. Oh, sorry. It's pretty much the same size. So the problem is I was trying to use a AR-9 to diagnose a AR-15 chambered in 9mm. There's the difference. That's what I was. As soon as I looked at it, I was like, wait a second. This is all these specs are totally wrong for AR-9 because it's not an AR-9. It's a AR-15 chambered in 9mm, and this is another point. When I take this brace off, come on, there we go, and I line up the buffer tubes. This is a carbine buffer tube. Look how far out it sticks. This is not going to work. So the lower is an AR-15 lower chambered in 9mm, and the buffer tube is for a AR-9. So we have a Frankenstein project going on, and we need to fix it. So guess what? We are going to fix it, or are supposed to fix it. Let's go to the other one. They did good on the staking, that's for sure. Okay, cool. Take that guy off. Cool. Now remember, we have our end plate. Inside this end plate is a spring and a detent that presses up against this takedown pin. So don't let it just fly off. Shoot that detent off, and then all of a sudden, now you're in some serious trouble. Okay? So we want to back this off anymore. So I'm just going to take a flathead. I'm going to get into that crease. And I'm just going to start slowly prying it. I'm going to keep my thumb down at the bottom so it doesn't, there we go. Boom, just like that. So that spring doesn't just fly out. Now, once I back it off, okay, well, so they kept that part. So usually with the AR-15 lower, there is a spring in back. However, on this one, probably hard to see, but in this hole up here, in that hole, usually there's a spring for that detent. So because I guess they at least did some stuff to an AR-9. So this is really a Frankenstein. All right, don't need that. I need to press down on this buffer detent. I'm going to press down so that I can start turning this buffer off. Be careful because this thing is under high spring tension, and I would tell you honestly, you should probably wear eye pro for this if you're new to this, because this thing will launch. Okay, so I have to keep pressing it down because this thing was so far forward. There we go. Now I can... There it went. I told you it was under tension. It's alright. Got more. Don't care about that. I care about this. I need to take this off. I'm going to be giving this buffer tube to Deeezgainz because I want to fix his problem. His smile encourages me. So, I want to fix this gun so I can see his smile. So I get another day of encouragement. Finally get this off. You can clearly see the difference. So because that had a longer bolt carrier group, because it's a AR-15 chambered in 9mm, not an AR-9, it needed a longer buffer tube. If it was my upper, it would be fine. But it's, my upper is the AR-9 upper, and that's not going to work. Okay. Put all this on, and we'll start screwing her down. Alright, so we are back. We have a spring and a detent. We're going to put that in. Now, the whole problem was when he would pull back on the bolt, the bolt would get caught in the buffer tube and would not go forward. And you would have to shake the living shit out of this thing to get it to go forward. So it was getting caught in the buffer tube mainly because it was too big for the buffer tube, which completely compressed that spring and gave it really no way to do any kind of force forward. And that is my theory on what is happening. So the way we're going to fix that is we're going to take a AR-9 buffer tube off of an AR-15 chambered in 9mm, and we're going to put on a AR-15 buffer tube, which should be fine in theory. All right. Enough talk. Only one way to find out. Put that guy in. So if this doesn't get caught in the buffer tube, we should be fine. Now I'm using what he gave me. I have another one that I can test with if this goes wrong, but we're gonna go with what he gave. Okay. Tight tolerances. There's my little. Use what you have. Man. There we go. All right. So, now, for the moment of truth, these gains. You trust me? Let's see what happens. Theory proves true. I think I fixed your stuff, man. Yeah, I think I fixed your stuff. I'm sorry to mayhem. From the swamp deck. I'm out of here. There's a lightning game on. I fixed your stuff. Till the next one.